Okay, so picture this. You're about to walk into an interview for a job.
Where you get to work on the electrical systems that power those massive trains.
It's a pretty cool gig, right?
Mm.
Today, we are diving deep into the world of rolling stock electricians.
And giving you everything you need to absolutely ace that interview.
We've got some seriously cool resources from RoleCatcher to help us out.
Yeah, they've got these career guides, interview guides.
And even like a huge database of potential interview questions.
It's like a secret weapon for navigating this whole career path.
So let's just jump right in.
Let's tackle some of those tough questions you might face head on.
All right, sounds good.
One you'll probably hear is, what is your experience working with high voltage systems?
I bet that could be intimidating, especially if you're just starting out.
Yeah, for sure. But the key is to show you understand the risks.
And that you are committed to safety.
Right.
Because in the RoleCatcher Career Guide, it actually mentions exposure to hazardous materials. And needing protective gear.
Yes, exactly.
And that's under the working conditions section.
So even if you haven't worked directly with high voltage systems...
You can still talk about other electrical systems you have experience with.
Right. Maybe you've tinkered with electronics as a hobby.
Or, done some basic wiring around the house.
Exactly. Those seemingly small experiences can show that you grasp the fundamentals of electricity.
And you're eager to learn.
Precisely. And if you have experience in a related field, like auto mechanics...
Oh yeah, good point.
Don't hesitate to mention those transferable skills.
Because working on a car's electrical system...
It involves similar principles.
And a focus on safety.
Exactly.
Okay, on to the next one.
Right.
The interviewer might ask, can you explain how you diagnose and repair electrical faults in rolling stock?
Ooh, that one sounds a bit more technical.
It does.
But don't let it throw you off.
Okay.
Think of it like this. You're a detective.
Right.
And it's your job to solve the mystery of why a particular electrical system isn't working.
Ooh, I like that.
And just like a detective, you have tools to use.
Oh, right. The diagnostic testing tools that are mentioned in the career guide.
Exactly. Things like multimeters.
And oscilloscopes.
Yes. Those are your magnifying glass and fingerprint kit.
Helping you pinpoint the problem.
Exactly.
So how should someone structure their answer to this question?
Okay. I would suggest breaking it down into 3 steps.
Okay.
First, identify the problem. What are the symptoms?
Is there like a complete loss of power?
Yeah. Or is a specific component malfunctioning?
Gotcha.
Second, you want to use your tools to diagnose the fault.
So explain how you would use those tools to gather information.
Yes. And finally, you would outline the repair process.
What steps would you take to fix the issue?
Right. And what replacement parts might be necessary.
Okay, that's a good roadmap for a clear and concise answer.
And this is where RoleCatcher's AI feedback can be super helpful.
Oh yeah, because even if you're a seasoned electrician, it's helpful to get an extra set of eyes on your answer.
Yes. Or in this case, AI-powered analysis.
Right.
To make sure your answer is structured well and it hits all the key points.
Like having a personal editor for your interview responses.
Exactly.
Okay, what about this one? How do you ensure that your work meets industry standards and regulations?
Ah, that's a good one. This one's all about showing you are a professional.
And that you're committed to doing things by the book.
Exactly. The interviewer wants to know that you take compliance seriously.
They want to see that you are responsible.
Right. And you don't need to list off a bunch of specific regulations.
Because those can vary so much depending on the location.
Exactly. Instead, focus on your approach to staying current.
Right, because the career guide actually mentions automation and electrification in the industry trends section. And it seems like the regulations are constantly evolving in this field.
They are. So you could mention your commitment to professional development.
And staying up to date.
Exactly. And maybe even your participation in training programs.
So it's all about showing that you are dedicated to continuous learning.
Yes.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit. What about this question? What is your experience working with different types of rolling stock?
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
I'm even curious about this, like, what are the different types of rolling stock?
Well, you've got your locomotives, the engines that pull everything.
Okay.
And then you have passenger cars, designed for comfort and safety.
Right.
And then you have freight cars, and they come in all different shapes and sizes depending on what they're carrying.
Wow. So there is a lot of variety.
There is.
So for this question, it seems like honesty is key.
It is. You got to be upfront about the types of rolling stock you've worked on.
Right. So if your experience is only with passenger cars, just acknowledge that.
Exactly. But even if you haven't worked on a specific type, you can still talk about your general electrical knowledge.
And your willingness to learn new things.
Precisely.
But let's say the listener does have experience with lots of different types of rolling stock.
Okay.
How can they effectively showcase all of that knowledge?
It's all about painting a picture for the interviewer. Talk about the specific systems you've worked on.
And the challenges you faced.
Right. And the solutions you've implemented.
So it's about showing your versatility.
Exactly.
Okay, let's move on to one that's a bit more specific. Can you describe your experience with wiring and cable management in rolling stock?
Ooh, that is specific.
It is, and that's a good thing.
It is. It means they're looking for someone with a real attention to detail.
Someone who really understands this specific aspect of the job.
Exactly.
So why is wiring and cable management so crucial for this role?
Well, think of a train as this complex web of electrical systems.
Oh.
If the wiring is messy or poorly managed, it can lead to a ton of problems.
Safety hazards,
Right.
inefficiencies, and even system failures.
Yeah, it's like trying to find a file on a computer with a super cluttered hard drive.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
So good cable management, it's all about being organized
It's about safety.
and making sure everything runs smooth.
So even if someone hasn't worked on a train's electrical system before, they can still draw on their experiences with organizing cables and wiring,
Exactly. Maybe you've set up a home entertainment system.
or done a DIY project involving electrical components.
Right. Those are great examples.
So it's all about making those relatable connections.
Yes, it is.
Okay, this next one sounds intimidating. Can you discuss your experience working with PLCs and other automated control systems?
Ooh, PLCs sound pretty high tech.
They do.
PLCs, or programmable logic controllers, are basically the brains behind automated systems.
So like specialized computers that control how different parts of the rolling stock interact with each other.
Exactly.
And the career guide mentions that automation is a growing trend in the industry.
Uh-huh.
So this is a valuable skill to have.
It is, but if you don't have tons of PLC experience, don't worry.
Okay.
The key is to show a willingness to learn.
Okay. So you could mention any experience you have with programming.
Yeah, or computer systems.
Even if it's not directly related to PLCs.
Yeah. Right, and it's also a good idea to research the specific types of PLCs used in the rail industry.
That shows initiative.
It does. It shows you're proactive and dedicated to getting the knowledge you need for this role.
All right, let's shift gears to a really important topic, safety.
Okay.
The interviewer might ask, can you explain your approach to safety when working on rolling stock electrical systems?
That's a big one. Safety is non-negotiable in this job.
Right, you're dealing with high voltage systems and potentially hazardous materials.
Uh-huh. The interviewer needs to know you put safety first.
And the career guide even lists potential hazards and the high level of responsibility under the cons.
Yes, emphasizing just how important safety is.
So you really need to show that safety is just part of how you work.
You've got to be prepared to talk about specific safety protocols.
Things like lockout, ag-out procedures.
Right, using the right personal protective equipment.
And double-checking your work.
Yes, it's about showing that you don't cut corners and you are always thinking about safety.
And you could even prepare a statement that emphasizes your commitment to safety.
Yeah, like, my first step is always to make sure the power is completely isolated.
Or, I always double-check my work to prevent any hazards.
Exactly. Those are great examples.
Okay, let's move on to a question that's all about preventing those hazards.
Okay.
Can you discuss your experience with preventative maintenance for rolling stock electrical systems?
Ah, yes. Preventative maintenance is so important in the rail industry.
Because you don't want a train full of people suddenly losing power
No, you don't.
because of a preventable electrical problem.
Right. Regular maintenance is key to keeping things running safely and efficiently.
It's like getting regular checkups at the doctor.
Exactly.
It prevents big problems down the line.
Even if you are new to rolling stock, you can still talk about your understanding of how preventative maintenance works.
So you could talk about regular inspections, testing circuits,
Yes.
cleaning components, and replacing worn-out parts. And doing research on these specific procedures used for rolling stock would show initiative.
Yes, it shows you're dedicated to learning the ropes.
All right, last question for this part of our deep dive.
Okay.
The interviewer might ask, how do you stay up to date with the latest industry developments and advancements in rolling stock electrical systems?
Ooh, that's a good one. This one's all about your passion for the field.
And your commitment to constantly learning.
Exactly. The rail industry is always changing, with new technology popping up all the time.
So they want to know that you're excited to stay ahead of the curve.
Yes.
And the career guide mentions some great resources for this, like trade publications, online forums, and industry conferences.
Those are all great. You could mention those and also talk about how you personally like to learn.
Do you read industry journals?
Yeah.
Attend webinars?
Right.
participate in online communities,
Exactly. Those are great ways to stay informed.
and to connect with other professionals in the field.
Absolutely. And speaking of staying connected, I think we should highlight how RoleCatcher can help with all of this.
Yeah, they have so much information specifically for people in this career.
They do.
We'll dive deeper into their platform in the next part of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
Stay tuned, listeners. We'll be back soon with more tips to help you conquer that interview.
See you then. Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of rolling stock electricians.
We're ready for part 2.
Last time we covered some of those tough technical questions you might get in an interview.
We did. We really got into the nitty-gritty.
We did, but an interview is about more than just your technical skills.
Right. You have to show them you're a good fit for the team.
Exactly. So let's talk about those soft skills that really make you stand out.
Well, give me all the tips.
Let's go back to that teamwork question we touched on earlier.
Okay.
Remember the STAR method situation, task, action, result?
Yep. It's a good way to structure your answer.
It is, but the key is to choose an example that shows how your teamwork led to something good.
So don't just say you worked on a team.
Right. Give them a story about how your teamwork really made a difference.
So instead of just describing the situation, I should focus on the impact of my contributions.
Exactly. Like, let's say you were troubleshooting a problem with your team and you were under a tight deadline.
Okay.
You could talk about how you listened to your teammates' ideas.
And communicated clearly, so everyone was on the same page.
Right. And how you all worked together to come up with a solution.
And then you could explain how that solution maybe saved the company time or money, or even improve safety.
Yes, exactly. That kind of story really shows your value as a team player.
It shows you can get things done.
It does.
Okay, so teamwork. What other soft skills are important for this job?
Communication is a big one.
Because you're working with so many different people.
You are mechanics, engineers, supervisors, maybe even passengers.
Right, so you have to be able to explain technical things in a way that everyone understands.
Exactly. You need to be clear and concise, and you have to be patient.
And you have to be a good listener, too.
Oh, absolutely. You're not just talking, you're listening, too.
So you have to really listen to what others are saying.
Even if they're using jargon or terms you don't know.
Because good communication builds trust and helps you solve problems.
And it keeps the working environment safe.
It all ties together.
It does.
What about problem solving? Is that important?
Oh, definitely. Rolling stock electricians are always facing challenges.
Like equipment failures.
Right, or tricky wiring problems.
You got to think on your feet and come up with solutions.
Exactly. That ability to analyze a problem and find a solution is super valuable in this field.
And it goes back to that preventative maintenance we talked about.
It does. It's all about being proactive and solving problems before they even happen.
I like that.
Here's another tip before you go into your interview. Research the company's safety culture.
That's a good idea. It shows you're really interested in working for them.
Exactly. It shows initiative, and it helps you tailor your answers to their values.
So if they talk about being safety first, you can emphasize your own commitment to safety.
Exactly. It shows you're on the same page.
Okay, so we talked about soft skills and company research. What else can people do to prepare?
Practice, practice, practice.
And not just thinking about your answers in the shower.
Right. I mean, real dedicated practice where you can actually refine your answers and get feedback.
This is where RoleCatcher's video practice feature comes in, right?
Yes. It's an amazing tool that basically simulates a real interview.
You record yourself answering questions.
And then their AI analyzes your performance and gives you feedback.
It's like having your own personal interview coach.
It is. The AI looks at everything, your body language, your tone of voice.
And it helps you figure out what to improve.
And the coolest part is it can actually help you tailor your answers to the specific job you want.
Whoa, how does that work?
Their AI is designed to look at job descriptions and pick out the key skills they're looking for.
Okay.
And then it suggests ways to use those keywords in your answers.
You're hitting all the points the employer cares about.
Exactly.
Yep.
You're showing them you understand the job and what they need.
That's really smart.
It is.
Okay, I'm feeling more confident about answering those interview questions.
Yeah.
There's one that always makes me nervous, the salary question.
Ah, yes, the salary question. It can be awkward to talk about money.
It really can. I never know what to say.
I get it, but it's a really important part of the process, and RoleCatcher can help you with this too.
Really, they have salary information.
They do. Their platform shows salary data based on your location, your experience, and the job title.
So you can go into the interview knowing what salary range to expect.
Exactly. You'll have data to back you up, and you'll be prepared to negotiate a fair salary.
That makes me feel a lot better.
Good. No matter what questions they ask, The important thing is to be confident and enthusiastic and be yourself.
Show them your passion for this work and that you're ready to learn and be part of the team.
And don't forget to talk about safety.
Right, because that's the most important thing.
It is.
Okay, I think we covered a lot here. Soft skills, company research, salary negotiation.
Is there anything else we should mention? Yes. Actually, I want to emphasize that all of this preparation is just the beginning.
Right, the real learning starts when you get the job.
It does. So my advice to anyone starting out is to be a sponge.
Soak up all the knowledge. You learn.
Exactly. Ask questions, watch how others do things, take notes.
Yeah,
Don't be afraid to say you don't know something.
that's how you learn.
It is. And find a mentor, someone experienced who can guide you.
Mentors are so valuable.
They are, and don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. This is a hands-on job.
The more you do, the more you learn.
Exactly. And as you gain experience, keep learning and keep pushing yourself. The rail industry is always changing.
So you have to keep up.
You do, and that's where RoleCatcher can help.
Right, they have so many resources to support your professional development.
They do skill guides, career guides, even information on certifications that can boost your career.
It sounds like they really are the ultimate career companion.
They are, all right. I think that's enough for now.
But we're not done yet, listeners.
No, we'll be back for the final part of our deep dive.
We'll be exploring, well, you'll have to tune in to find out.
See you then.
Keep those wheels turning. Okay, we are back for the final part of our deep dive into the world of rolling stock electricians.
And this time, we're going to step off the train, so to speak, and take a broader look at the industry itself.
Okay, I like it. What do you have in store for us?
Well, we've talked a lot about, the technical skills, the soft skills.
How to nail that interview.
Yes, all those things you need to land the job.
Exactly.
But now let's zoom out and look at the big picture.
Okay.
The rail industry is changing in some pretty incredible ways.
It is.
And all of that change is creating amazing opportunities for skilled electricians.
You're talking about things like automation and electrification, right?
Exactly. Those trends are reshaping what it means to work on rolling stock.
And it sounds like it's a pretty exciting time to be entering this field.
It is.
So it's not just about keeping the existing systems running anymore.
No, it's about being at the forefront of innovation.
So what does that look like?
Think advanced sensors, computerized control systems.
And even like autonomous trains.
Yeah, like self-driving trains.
Wow, that sounds futuristic.
It does. But it's really happening, and it means that the skills you need to succeed in this job are changing too.
So how can someone prepare for the future of this industry?
You have to never stop learning.
Okay.
Always be looking for new knowledge, new skills, new ways to challenge yourself.
If you stop learning, you fall behind.
Exactly. It's like a race where the finish line keeps moving.
That's a great way to put it. And luckily, there are a lot of resources out there to help us keep up.
There are, the career guide mentioned, professional organizations.
Online forums, industry events.
Yeah, those are all great ways to stay in the loop.
Organizations like the IRO.
Yes, the International Association of Railway Operating Officers.
They offer training and certifications that can boost your resume.
And those online communities can be awesome for networking and learning from other people in the field.
Right. And of course, we can't forget about RoleCatcher.
No, their platform has so much information for anyone who wants to build a career in this industry.
They have the career guides, the skill guides, the salary info.
It's all right there.
Like a one-stop shop for career development.
It is, and their AI tools can help you figure out exactly what skills you need to stay competitive.
It's like your personalized career roadmap.
Exactly.
So it sounds like the future is pretty bright for anyone who is passionate about rolling stock.
It is if you are willing to embrace the changes and the opportunities.
Right.
But it's not just about the technology, it's about the people.
The people who keep the trains running.
Exactly. The people who are curious and always want to learn more.
The people who are committed to making this industry even better.
It's about the passion, the dedication, the drive to be the best.
I love that.
So if you're ready to start this journey, I encourage you to check out RoleCatcher's resources.
Start building those skills and get ready for a career that is both rewarding and impactful.
Well said.
And remember, believe in yourself, show your passion, and never stop learning.
The world of rolling stock is waiting for you.
That's a wrap on our deep dive into the world of rolling stock electricians.
We hope you enjoyed it.
Until next time, keep those wheels turning and keep chasing those dreams.